What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, what's going on, Facebook? Just gonna wait for a few people to come on because I want to talk about relationships tonight. You know what I'm saying? Just want to rap. You know what I'm saying? Get some opinions on it. Give my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? But just want to talk relationships tonight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, platonic relationships, romantic relationships, work relationships, business relationships, just relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because the dude conflicted. You know what I'm saying? Dude been going through some stuff. Relationship. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But just want to talk about relationships. You know what I'm saying? But for real, I'm not going to ramble tonight. Just going to kind of, talk just a little bit. And I want y'all to talk back to me. You know what I'm saying? Usually I don't do these lives and, pay attention to the feed, but I'm going to pay attention tonight because I want us to rap. I don't want it to be a monologue. I want it to be a dialogue tonight. You know what I'm saying? But, today I was looking at my niece. She did a video earlier today talking about talking about fear. And I began to think about relationships and friendships and romantic things. And I realized a lot of times that in relationships, a lot of us, we are in them for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? Some of us embark on relationships, be it for financial support. It could be for emotional support. It could be for social support, whatever the case may be. But I realize relationships are a agreement between two people. You know what I'm saying? They agree to give up the I's for the us and the we. You know what I'm saying? That's in a platonic or a romantic relationship. And I got some friends being real, just thinking about it today, that I have some friends that the only time I hear from was when they're going through it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really feel like that's a relationship. I feel like it's one-sided, and a part of me be afraid to tell them, you know what, man, I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in a friendship or a relationship, whatever the case may be, the fear factor has to be gone from it. You should be able to talk to the person you're in a relationship with about anything, and they shouldn't leave. You know what I'm saying? And so just want to talk about relationships. So like I said, man, I mean, just dealing with some stuff, man. Trying to figure out, what to do in my own personal relationship. You know what I'm saying? This is young lady everybody know about. And I'm being honest, I'm afraid a lot of times to pursue her in the way that I want to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm afraid. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be that way. With somebody that I care about, someone that I feel care about me, I should be able to be open and honest, right? So just, kind of help me with this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to take it to the next level with a person in a relationship, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? What do you say? How do you go about it? Because I don't have all the answers, and that's why I'm kind of on here tonight, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out, what to do in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I have my own theory, of how to make a healthy relationship, be it platonic or romantic. But again, I don't know everything. So I'm asking some of you, to give me your perspective on relationships. Gayla, why you not a fan of relationships? Do tell. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure it out. So what is it about relationships that you're afraid of or you don't like about, relationships? Because if you have friends, you have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily romantic, but if you have any type of relationship, be it with your homegirl, your cousin, you know what I'm saying, whoever, you have a relationship. So why are you not a fan of relationships? Because we all need some type of relationship with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you can confide in. And I think that a lot of times in 2019, we have this veneer of relationship. You know what I'm saying? People are cool with you as long as everything is good, and then when things go awry, nobody really want to talk. You know what I'm saying? We should be at a place where we should be able to talk to the people we're in a relationship with. That's just my theory. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to come to you and tell you, what your breath stink, and you should be able to understand that. Now, yes, I should have some tact when I say your breath stink, but I should be able to be open and honest with you about that. If you're irresponsible, I should be able to say you're irresponsible. And likewise, you should be able to tell me things as well where I wouldn't get offended. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to take it from a place of knowing you and having covenant with you or being in a relationship with you that you would never say anything to harm me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said earlier, I have a friend, for real, I think they're better than me. And I'm tripping why I even call that person a friend. You know what I'm saying? Everything they have to say is always a negative statement. And what I realize about relationships is that the person you're in a relationship with want to see you win. They don't always want to see themselves win. They don't always want to be the focal point. You want to focus on both of you guys being healthy and whole, if it's platonic or relationship wise. And so I think a lot of times, being real, that some people get selfish in relationships, and it shows up, and when it shows up, the relationship usually go left. You know what I'm saying? People usually fall out, whatever the case may be. And I just wanted to have healthy relationships. I just believe in healthy relationships. I believe that when you have healthy relationships, you can flourish. When you're hanging around people that are sucking you dry, that's always complaining, people that's always around you trying to make you feel bad about yourself or what you have or what you don't have, you don't need them type of people you don't need to be in a relationship with those people. And a lot of us, we're in a relationship with people because we're common with them. We relate to them about certain things, and we automatically feel like, well, since we have things in common, we should be in a relationship, and that's not altogether true. You know what I'm saying? Some people you're in a relationship with, you may not have anything in common with them. You know what I'm saying? But they may be the best person or people for you in your life. But a lot of times we choose, and I can say me because I'm guilty of this, I've chosen certain friends because of their popularity, or I've chosen certain relationships because of how a person looked and all those superficial things. But when it got down to the rubber meeting the road, those people wasn't able to withstand when the storms came. So what you want to do is make sure that you have somebody that you're in agreement with, because I'm gonna throw some Bible things in here too, because that's just me. But Amos 3:3 said, how can two walk unless they be in agreement? It's not always romantically. That goes with platonic relationships, that goes with familiar relationships. You know what I'm saying? Me and my sisters and brothers, this was 6 of us, and I have a different relationship with my brothers and sisters for different reasons. And certain things I would tell one sibling that I won't tell the other. It don't mean I don't love that sibling. It just means that we have a different reason for bonding. You know what I'm saying? We bond on different things. And just like with friends, and we run into, I think, a muck when we try to treat all our friends the same. We always say, well, this person ain't got a problem with it, then you shouldn't have a problem with it. But we're individual people, and we should want to cultivate those relationships individually, not corporately, because everybody is different. So again, I'm gonna talk about some of my personal stuff tonight, because I believe in being honest and transparent. And again, if y'all have questions, man, or if y'all have something to say, I want y'all to talk to me. I don't want to just ramble, you know what I'm saying? But for real. But the young lady, I really care about her. You know what I'm saying? I really want to take it to the next level, but a part of me is afraid of it, because I feel like I'm not measuring up as I should as a man. As a man, I feel like, I should be able to provide for her. I should be able to take, be able to do certain things with her, just because. But sometimes I have to plan it out, and I got to make sure money is here, money is there. But she's telling me, you don't have to have it all together, you know what I'm saying, to take it to the next level. But I just feel like, as a man, I should have some things in order. Y'all know I can't see, so I'm be squinting. Okay, so it's... So Jamaris, you asked the question, is it wrong for not telling someone you're going to protect them? A lot of times it's not necessarily my opinion. I don't think it has nothing to do with you not telling them more than you showing them. You should be able to show them, because a lot of times in 2019, people have a lot of word. They can say a lot. They talk a lot. But when it come down to actually doing it, a lot of times we don't. So in 2019, where people are at now, you got to show them more than you tell them. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to protect them, do it. You know what I'm saying? Have the Nike slogan mentality. If I'm going to provide, I'm going to provide. I'm not going to have do it. And so that's where I am in my conviction, or my confliction, is where I'm conflicted at, is that I feel like if I can't take you on a nice date and show you the world, then I feel like I'm less than a man. And I think that's because society has told me that a man, or I watch too much TV, and I don't know. But again, I want to be able to be the man that can protect, provide, be prayerful over my wife, or whatever the case may be. So again, is nothing wrong with not telling them, but I would much say you need to show them. So after you've told somebody you want to protect them, now follow up with it. Because I think a lot of times our follow through in relationships, be it platonic or romantically, I think our follow through is what causes the problem. You know what I'm saying? We'll make a commitment. You know what I'm saying? On Friday, when I get paid, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And then when Friday come, every excuse in the world come up. And so that brings, problems in the relationship, even with family, even with friends, you know what I'm saying? So we just got to make sure that we keep true to our word, and like I said, I was thinking today again, like I said, when it comes to relationships, again, the fear factor got to get removed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we say we friends with people or we love people, but there's things that we hide from them. If you're broken or if you're hurt, you should be able to let that person know you're hurt, and they shouldn't look at you with the judgment. Why? That's just my opinion. If you tell somebody as a man, if I was in front of my woman and something really hurt me and I cried in front of her, she shouldn't look at me as being weak. I should be able to be vulnerable, especially with someone that I'm in a relationship with romantically or I've made a covenant with. I should be able to be vulnerable in front of them. But a lot of times, because of society and because of the way we've been raised and because we've had lopsided relationships, I think a lot of times or we have seen bad relationships, we model our relationships that way, and we're afraid to say what is uncomfortable because we don't want to cause no friction. But I think that in relationships and friendships, even new friends, when I get new friends requests, I ask questions like, why you want to be my friend? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I need to know what your motive is. Because if your motive is flawed when you come into a relationship with anybody, be it platonic or romantically, I believe that you have to come with pure intentions. You know what I'm saying? If your motive is only to come, so if you're a dude and your boys, they can get women and you only hanging around them because they can get women, I think that's a problem. If you're a woman and you just want to hang with the women that can go out here and get men, I think that's a problem. So I just think that when it all boils down to it, we need to make sure that we're choosing our relationships with pure intentions. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's not a self-motivated thing. It's a relationship thing. Because again, when I looked up the word relationship, it means a connection. It means a agreement on something. So when you relate to people, you got to make sure that you're taking time to cultivate that relationship. Because most of us would have a friend for 5 minutes and say, that's my best friend, and you don't really know anything about them. Kevin, what you say, what if you want to show someone the world and how God turn them around, how would you do that? Again, man, Kevin, just my opinion. I think that, Kelvin, rather, I think just my opinion, don't know everything, not a guru, just my opinion. I think that, again, most of it is action. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, I think that everybody knows that it's a true statement. Action speaks louder than words. So when we can speak something and then follow through with it, that builds trust. See, the thing is, a lot of times when people start distrusting us or have a lack of trust in us is when we say something and don't follow through with it. And so that's why we see marriages break up, because in the marriage, you hear the vows to death do us part, in sickness and health, for rich or poor, and all those things. And they get up there and they say, I do to all those things, right? And then once the rubber meet the road, somebody changes their mind. And see, the thing is, if you change your mind, I think it's an injustice and a disservice to that person or you're in a relationship with not to tell them. If something changed, you need to tell that person so you can give them opportunity to respond. So again, actions, man. Actions is everything, and it can't be something that you really don't want to do. I think a lot of times people change because of what they want people to accept from them. If that change is not organically from within, I think personally it's only going to last for a moment anyway. That's just my opinion. You got some people that get into the church because of a man or a woman. You got some people that work 5 jobs for a man or a woman, but they still yet unfulfilled. So I think that you have to get fulfilled within before you can love without, if that makes sense. So again, I'm not a guru of relationships, but I've been in a couple and I've seen some bad ones and I've seen some great ones. And I realize that communication is a factor in platonic and romantic relationships. And I think that's the breakdown. We've got to the point now where we'll inbox somebody what we think, or we'll text somebody what we think. But when it comes face to face, we won't have that conversation. I'm guilty of that. I know Tia, if she watched this, she would tell you that he bad about that. Like, I be wanting to say things to her, but I'm afraid to say it because, again, I don't know how she's going to respond. But I should have enough trust and enough courage and enough sense to know that whatever I say to you is not going to break our relationship if it's really on an organic relationship. It's hard to break up a relationship when 2 people have made up their mind they're going to stick it out. That could be platonic or romantically. I work with people. Yes, sir, Kelvin, only God can do certain things. And that's what I'm saying, man. When you do a organic change, you really don't have to tell people you changed. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I realized, is that once you have changed and you have made your mind up to do things better, a lot of times people will see it before you can even say anything about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about you. You know what I'm saying? You'll notice that you'll calm down a little bit. Kelvin, you know, I tell you the heartbeat. I say you're a hothead. I say you'll pop off quickly, but I've seen the growth in a short period of time, man. And you know, and I thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? Because that shows that people can change. But I think that change really is taking place in your life, bro, because you made up your mind to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? I think that once you make that change for you, then again it becomes personal. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you eat, when you eat, your intentions are to be full. Your intentions are to be nourished. And so when you do it for you, then you realize, okay, what I'm doing for me is going to help me be better to the next person. Let's see here, Jamaris, what you say. So do they love you if they turn their back on you? Bruh, Neff. It's a good question. Do they love you if they turn their back on you? And we got to define, or I guess break it down a little bit more for me, because turn their back on you don't automatically mean, now if they turn their back on you where they just walk away from you and treat you like you was never there or they never loved you, that's one thing. If they give you tough love, that's something else. Because like I say, sometimes I think in relationships we take it wrong when somebody give us tough love and we think they'll turn their back on us, and that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes they do that to make you rise to the occasion or to step it up. But at the same time, if somebody turned their back on you altogether, they never loved you, man. They never was there for you, man. And that's what we're seeing in 2019. And I know, if y'all could be real, when you got money and when you got the best stuff, you have the most friends. You have the most people that want to be in a relationship with you. Right now, I'm telling you the 100% truth. If y'all went and scratched off tonight and hit the lottery, and you posted it on Facebook, you will find so many people that want to be in a relationship with you that do not know you. You'll find people that want to inbox you that do not know you. Think about celebrities. People want to be cool with the celebrities. Don't know that the celebrities may have a dysfunctional background. But I want to hang out with Beyonce. But Beyonce may be crazy. But you want to hang out with Beyonce because she got celebrity. So what I'm saying is, people need to be able to want to be in a relationship with you just because of who you are. And my thing is what you have to offer. My thing is what you have to offer shouldn't always be physical. What you have to offer should be an ear sometime. What you have to offer should be wisdom sometime. What you have to offer have to be truth sometime. And see, sometimes we are so fake with each other because I don't want to lie to my friend because I really don't have money to go out, but I'm act like I got money to go out, and then your lights off, and then it's just too much, man. You should be able to be organic with your friendships. You know what I'm saying? So again, and relationships. When I say relationship, friendships is interchangeably, because in order to have a healthy friendship, you got to have some type of commonality and some type of agreement to be in a relationship with someone. Okay, let me see here, Jamaris. Like, you made a mistake and you never meant to hurt them, and they talk to you or work things out. Okay, so if you did something that was a mistake. Good questions, man. I'm telling y'all making me work tonight. I didn't even want to do all that, but hey, it's cool. I'm just giving my opinion. If you made a mistake, people should be able to forgive that. I will say this: just don't make the same mistake twice. And if you do, don't put it so close together. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I told you a lie today, not that is right, but if I lied to you on Monday, I don't think I need to lie to you on Wednesday because it's too close together. So now I'm adding pain on top of pain. Or if I misappropriated funds this month, then I shouldn't be misappropriating funds again next month. What I'm saying is consistency in any relationship matters, or inconsistency matters. So if you're inconsistent, it can break a relationship. And if you're consistently building that relationship, it's going to continually grow. So if you made a mistake, apologize, own it. Because a lot of times I think too in relationships, we don't want to take our part of the blame. We always want to pass the buck. It's your fault. If you wouldn't have said, if you wouldn't have done all this and the third. And I think that in relationships, if you take accountability for what you did wrong, then I think that a person, if they take accountability for what they did wrong, then you can have healthy relationships. But somebody in a relationship got to give up the I factor and give up the we and put it in for the we factor, if that makes sense. The we factor is that tomorrow, because I always say advance a week. This is how people need to think about in relationships. And this is just my personal opinion, and I've seen it work, is that you got to advance a week. Right now, I'm mad at you. Right now, I hate you. Right now, I don't think I will ever speak to you again. But if I advance a week and I think about it, next week I realize I really do want you in my life. Next week I realize I really do love you. Next week I realize I really can forgive you. Hey Jackie, what's up, baby? So that's what I'm saying, man. So when somebody, you are wrong somebody, take accountability for what you've done. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst thing that we can do is go to a person and say, well, it's your fault. If you wouldn't have said, if you wouldn't have done, okay, after they said or did whatever they did and you blew up, take ownership for yours and say, you know what? I shouldn't have called you that name. I shouldn't have did that to you. Take ownership for yours. And if that person really is mature, they would take responsibility for their stuff too. So like I said, I mean, I'm learning now that's, you know, like even with dealing with the relationship and trying to cultivate it, I'm realizing now communication is very key. And whatever you feel, you got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk about the hard things. As I said some last night, the conversations that are most important are the ones that we avoid. You know what I'm saying? If you got friends, again, or a relationship with somebody and people always depending on you, but anytime you need to depend on them, they're always busy. I'm going to be honest with you, that's a one-sided relationship, and you might need to reevaluate it. And there's nothing wrong with taking relationships under advisement. You know what, man? And the thing is, but first of all, Maris, I'm going to tell you something, bro. Some people don't even know there's a problem. That's the thing. See, we got to stop acting like people are psychic. Some people have the Holy Ghost and they can discern. Some people have no clue. So when it come down to it, some stuff we got to open our mouth and say. If there's a problem, we got to speak up on it and say, look, this right here is the issue. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't cook for me if you're in a romantic relationship, or if you're in a platonic relationship and they always come to your house eating, but they never invite you to their house. You got to say, look, I ain't cooking another meal till I can get a meal at your crib. You know what I'm saying? And if they get mad because you say something like that, then oh well. If it's, and I think that if you take your woman out 3 or 4 times, I think that your lady should be able to say, hey, let me take you out this time. I think that you should be able to have that fluidity, if that makes sense, going back and forth. Because if you have a relationship, in any relationship that's constantly one-sided, eventually it's going to show up and it's going to destroy that relationship. So you gotta say if you're hurting. You got to say if you're mad. If the person did something to tick you off, you got to say that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't tell that person what it is, then what you're going to do is you're going to hold that in, and then when you erupt, this will come out the way you didn't intend it to come out. So that's just my take on it. How would you get her back if you really love her? Okay, that's a good one. How would you get her back? Now, I'm going to tell you something. It's different strokes for different folks, bro. I'll be honest with you. Some women, you know, they like flowers. Some women, they like consistency. Some women like handwritten letters. It depends. If you're a man and you're trying to get that woman back, what you have to do is be authentic. I think that a lot of times you got to let your representative stay at the crib. You got not the one that you want her to see. You got to be you. Because I think a lot of times we send a representative in relationships, and then when the real us show up, people don't know them. They're not familiar with that person. So, again, if you want her back, you got to be authentic. You got to be true to yourself. 2, you got to pray, you know what I'm saying? God, if this is meant for me, if it's a relationship, platonic or whatever, and Tasha, I'm going to come and touch on that. Because I think in a relationship, Kelvin, I'm coming back to you. But Tasha, that right there is a good one. You say 50-50. That's the way I look at it. If you're in a relationship, platonic or romantically, everybody should be giving 100%. Because if I'm giving 100% of me, you giving you 100% of you, there's no room for error. But see, a lot of us, I'm going to give you 50%. That means I'm giving you half of me. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm gonna give you all of me. If I'm your friend, if I'm your lover, if I'm gonna be your husband, you're not getting 50% of Mackenzie. You're getting 100% of me, 100% of me, because that's who I am. I'm not holding nothing back. And I think in a relationship, if we can give 100% of ourselves, I honestly think that people will be able to see the real us and be able to know if they want the real us or not. If they don't want the real us, then go on, because there's somebody that's going to want it. But like I said, back to you, Kelvin, go back to your relationships, man. Like I said, it takes some time. Like I said, man, you know, you got hurt overnight. Sometimes it takes time to heal. So you got to give that person space to heal. You may have healed from something, but that doesn't mean that person has. And you just got to be patient. If you really want that, what they say, good things come to those that wait. Okay. Now, some people will lie on you. Now, if you're in a relationship, Jamaris, where people lying on you, bruh, they'll have your best intentions at heart. That's why I'm trying to tell you, man. Relationships have to be intentional. When you embark on a relationship, it has to be intentional, not selfish. You know what I'm saying? When I go into a relationship with anybody, I want to, hey, Navonda, what's going on with you? I want to be intentional about what it is I want from you. And I want you to be intentional what it is that you want from me. I don't want your representative showing up because, like I said, I slaughter the representatives now. You come with your representative, I'm going to kill him off gate. I'm going to kill her off gate because I ain't got time for it. I'm too old and been through too much hell to try to sit up here and deal with your representative. Not doing it. So like I said, even in relationships, you got that your representative may show up at the first 2 appointments, but you got to finally show up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to. Because see, we work for companies. I work for a company. I'm a representative for a company. Right? But that's not me. I'm not Republic Service. I represent Republic Service. So I always got to put in the best face or the best front for the company, even when I know it can be garbage. You see what I'm saying? So when your representative show up, you're going to always make it look prettier than what it is. That dude beating you upside your head, but he loved me. That dude cheating on you, but he loved me. That woman, she spending all your money, but she loved me. That ain't love. That ain't respect. That's a representative. You better make that real person show up. That's all I'm saying. You know what? Jackie, listen. You said something that's pivotal. You say some things are unforgivable, right? Hold on. I don't change the thing around. Hold on. Go back around. Camera. How do I say? There we go. You say some things are unforgivable. You can forgive somebody and not deal with them no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got to be friends with you because I forgave you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the thing is, I can forgive you. That means I'm taking all the animosity that I would have had it before with you. Before, hey, Sierra, what's going on? I'm taking all the animosity that I would have had and the energy I would have put in being mad at you. I removed that, but I don't have to deal with you. I don't have to have you in my face. I don't have to invite you over for lunch. I don't have to meet you at Starbucks or no latte. I don't have to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so at the end of the day, when it comes down to relationships, we got to understand that because you cheated on me, don't mean I got to stay in a relationship with you. I can forgive you for cheating on me, but you got to go. Or whatever the case may be, or you could choose to stay. And I think that we let society and people skew our opinion on if we stay with somebody. If you decide to stay with that person that cheated on you or lied to you, and if that person decides to make a better effort not to do those things again, and you decide to stay, who are we to judge? Who are we to judge? But a lot of times we move by what other relationships we have with other people, and we base it on the relationship we have with a certain person. My thing is this, my relationship with my mother and with my sisters and with my brothers, my nephews, with my friends, I've learned not to let one friend make me look at this other friend left. Because you don't like this person. Now, I don't supposed to like him. Nah, that person did nothing to me, so we cool. You know what, Jackie? It don't matter if it do take time, but just as long as you do it. That's the thing. Like I said, forgiveness, you know, it's not necessarily for them, it's for you. Because when you forgive somebody, that releases them. See, the thing is, I believe that when you harness unforgiveness in the back of your head, sometimes you be trying to figure out a way how to get revenge. You know what I'm saying? When I walked around in unforgiveness, when people, friends, romantically have done me wrong and I didn't forgive them, in the back of my head I'm plotting on how I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna figure out a way, or when your demise come or something happen, I'm sitting here gloating, and that's not the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna give you a bye, because like I tell people all the time, your bye don't have to be bad, it can be goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Goodbye. I'm not mad at you. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate you, but goodbye. This relationship is not healthy. And as Sierra was saying, I'm a coin it again tonight, since she on, kind of jar my memory. Whatever is not healthy for you is going to kill you. So if you're in a relationship that is constantly draining you, that can never replenish you, then you don't need to be in that relationship. And Jamaris, you're right. People and influences break up relationships if the people in the relationship allow it to. You have seen some people, like they call it Bonnie and Clyde, it's them against the world. When you have that mentality, then it's the only way somebody can get in between two people is if one of them people allow it. Period. You know what I'm saying? So we have to cultivate our relationships. And the first thing is being honest, man. I think that honesty in relationships, again, platonic, relationship wise, is the best. It's the best. It's the best way. Jack, I ain't playing with you tonight. Oh, you know what? And Jack, if he wasn't for you, he wasn't for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's something we got to accept too. Some relationships just not for us, or they had their season and it's over. You know what I'm saying? Friends, we got friends that we're growing up with that we don't really know anymore. So when they see you out now, people you went to grade school with or middle school with, when you see them out, it's kind of like, hey, how you doing? We had a relationship then, but because we had a relationship then doesn't mean that you can fit in my life right now. Because who I am now is not the person you knew in high school or the person you knew who was in middle school. I'm a whole different person now. I've been shaped by different experiences, and if you don't want to take out the time to get to know me and my experience, then this right here to you. And see, this is what we got to start being real with. We hurt ourselves a lot of times in relationships because of loneliness, because of fear, and all these different things. Nah, I'm going to tell you something. I'd rather be by myself with a cat and a dog eating a pickled pig feet before I let people just hurt me. I just can't do it no more, man. And like I said, don't mean that I don't love people, because I love people. But what I will not do is let people hurt me because of my fear of being alone, or my fear of nobody talking to me, or my fear of having a party and nobody show up, or my fear of having a dinner and I got all this food cooking, nobody eat it. I'm moving myself from those fears. If you're going to show up, you're going to show up. And a lot of times, if you're a real friend, I shouldn't have to beg you to show up. You should just do it. Wow. You know what, Jackie? And sometimes, you know what? It takes time. We be in a relationship with people. We have people because some people have mastered fake. Can I say that? Some people have mastered how to be fake, and they have mastered how to be a representative. And so it takes a while to figure it out. And this is why I tell people discernment is very, very, very necessary. What's up, Prophetess? How you doing, Prophetess Williams? That's why discernment is very key. And people call it your conscience. Some people call it your something told you, whatever you call it. I call it the Holy Ghost. I give it a name. And it gives you discernment to know a person's move. Discernment don't mean nothing but seeing what's behind the thing. So a lot of times, men, they see women breasts. I'm going there tonight because y'all pulling on me and I'm going there. Men, we see one with the big breast, but we don't see behind that breast there's a broken heart. You know what I'm saying? And if you're really intentional about that woman, especially romantically, what you would do is you would go past that breast and you would try to fix that heart. And like I say, men and women, y'all got the same issue. Y'all see the man with the nice chest, and I mean as hard as a brick, and you don't realize as a little boy he was broken, and you don't never see that. All you see was the abs and the chest, the biceps and triceps, and you don't realize behind that dude is a broken heart. So, and even with some friends we're with, and they just hating on us for no reason, and we don't understand they're broken. So if you ain't there to try to help that person heal, and they ain't trying to help you heal, you got to let some people go, man. That's just my opinion. You know what, Jackie, and the red signs, you know what, I'm going to tell you something, the red flags, we got to stop ignoring those. I think that's what we do because we have been taught, you know what, it's going to change. And we make ourselves believe that. But Maya Angelou said something that's so true, and it ain't even biblical, but when a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time. See, the thing is, if you show me that you would stab me in my back, I should keep it in the back of my head, if I don't see change, that you would stab me again. If you walked away from me before, I should have in the back of my mind, if you don't show me anything different, that you'll walk away again. See, a lot of times we give people allowances because of our own fear or our loneliness. Man, I'm going to tell you something. At some point, you got to say, God, whatever's for me is for me. And if people don't want to be in my life, then deuces to them. Deuces to them. These are some good questions, y'all. I love it. I love it. How do you believe somebody when they say they're going to change? How do you believe? Okay, first you got to have faith. Okay, if a person has messed up and they say they're going to change, give them the grace. Can I say that? Give them the grace to change. God give us grace every day. He give us grace. We say we ain't gonna smoke no more. We ain't gonna have sex outside of marriage no more. We ain't gonna drink no more. We ain't gonna smoke weed no more. There's a lot of things we're gonna tell God, if you do it for me this time, I won't do it no more. And God will give us grace to give us opportunity to change that, whatever we said we want to do. Sometimes God, because he's all knowing, he know we go drink again. He know we go fornicate again. He know all these things that we're going to do again. But at the same time, he still grace us. And we as people got to learn how to grace one another, not to keep messing up, because you don't want to frustrate grace. Let's just put it that way. But at the same time, we got to be in a position to give grace to people, because I think that's the way God's motto is with us. God's motto with us is that he's saying, I sent my son to pay a cost that you couldn't pay for sin. So what I ask from you is you give me your life and love your neighbor as Christ loved us, if that makes sense. So again, we got to kind of look at it in a spiritual aspect and a natural aspect. And I think when we see it in the spiritual, I think that it'd make it easier for us in the natural. How long do you give a person that said they're going to change? That depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? I can never say that, because some people get instantaneous. Some people, it take a while. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to you to say, I'm going to have patience. If that person you believe that you're in a relationship with, platonically or relationship-wise, as far as romantically, if you feel like that person, or you see the potential of that person doing better, and you want to give that person grace and patience, then you're allowed to do that. But it's not fair to you to impose on somebody, because it took you a week to get over somebody talking about you, and it's taking somebody else 5 months. I don't think that's fair, and I think a lot of times we mess up there, because if it was me, I would. Well, guess what? It's not you. So what people need now is support. And like I said, what I'm seeing now is most people are supporting people for wrong instead of right. Some people are supporting people in the wrong thing, you know what I'm saying, versus the right thing. You'll have somebody say in a relationship, you've been with somebody 5 years, you need to marry that person. Y'all been together 5 years. Y'all commingling money and all this, y'all laying up together. Y'all need to get married. And you'll have somebody come around, be a fool, and say, you know what, man, if it's working like that, then keep it that way. Nah, make a commitment. And that's one thing about relationships overall, it takes commitment. I'm committed to the friends I have. I'm committed to them. So when they call me, and sometimes I don't want to hear what they have to say, but because I'm committed to the friendship, I'll listen. Jackie, let me say this, and I'm gonna go somewhere real quick, and I'm about to get up off here, because like I said, man, we would do this all night. But anyway, people are not bipolar. Most people have never dealt with their dysfunction. And see, when you haven't dealt with your dysfunction, you will be tossed like a leaf to and fro. So most people, I wouldn't say they're bipolar. I just think that a lot of times they move out of emotions. I think that a person that if you buy me some food, then I'm happy because you bought me some food. But when you can't, I'm mad. So we're moved off emotions. That don't mean that I'm bipolar. It just means that I'm expecting you to do something for me to make me happy. The thing is, in a relationship and a friendship, you got to be somewhat whole within yourself. That's a lot of responsibility to put on somebody to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? To say, well, you know what, if you really love me, you'll make me happy. No, you got to have that joy on the inside. And when you have that joy on the inside, you won't put that expectation on somebody else. That's not fair. That's a lot of pressure to say, you know what, Jamaris, Jackie, you got to make me happy. Because what make me happy today may not make me happy tomorrow. I may want chocolate ice cream tonight, and you brought it, I ate it. And tomorrow you may say, okay, well, you liked chocolate ice cream last night, but tomorrow my mom might change. I might want strawberry. Now I'm ticked off because I thought you should have knew better. A lot of times we don't know because we don't ask questions. I'm going to tell you something, Jackie, there's something wrong. It's something wrong, but like I say, we got to admit what's wrong with us too. You know, we quick to say what's wrong with somebody else, but we got some stuff too. Let me talk about me. I got some stuff too. Everything about me ain't squeaky clean. Everything about me ain't 100. So what I'm doing is I'm working on those things, and it's a daily It's a daily job, just like getting up, looking good to go to work, or looking good to go to church, or to make sure we hit the right notes in choir rehearsal. All of that stuff, it takes work. And so my thing is this: is that we got to learn how to perfect things, and perfection ain't what it is now. Perfection is what is going to be what it is when it's done. If that makes sense. So we got issues, man, and like I said, in the black community especially, and especially with men, we have been taught not to say how we feel or not to show how we feel. The only way we can show how we feel is through aggression, by raising our voice, punching a hole in the wall, calling a woman out her name. This is how we've been taught to deal with our real feelings. And a lot of times we confuse hurt with anger. You know what I'm saying? A person is really hurt, but it comes off as angry. And you got to know what it is. Or a person may not know how to be loyal to you because they've never seen a model of loyalty. You know what, Jackie? Women, and I'm gonna tell you something. You know, I'm a fan for women because I love my mama and I love my sisters. So, and I love my nieces and I love women. Period. You know what I'm saying? Even when I used to run with them in that way, I still love women. I have a high regard for women. Not saying I don't regard men, but I have a high regard for women. But I realize something with women. No man does anything to a woman that she does not allow him to do. That's just my opinion. Because, like, okay, for instance, if a man really want a woman, he say the right things, he do the right things. If his intentions are to sleep with her, he do all those things, but it's up to the woman to open her legs. Am I right about it? You know what I'm saying? And women do the same thing to men. They'll play like they like the man, so the man can pay the light bill, knowing you have no intentions of being with that man at all. And you have some friends out there too, you have no intentions, because some people can hear you got a good heart. And some people can say, you know what, Mama Joanne, you know, she got a good heart, and she'll give you the shirt off her back, and somebody will hear that. And then what they'll do is, behind your back, they'll go to Mama Joanne and say, Mama Joanne, you got $25 I can borrow, with no intentions of paying it back, but because they've heard that she's a good person. So again, this is why we got to know them that we labor among. Period. So when it comes to relationships, again, you got to have the hard conversations. And I think a lot of us won't do it. You know that joke won't work in the pie factory, take some pies, but yeah, and still, oh, but he got some good sex. Oh, he made me feel like a woman. How he make you feel like a woman when you don't feel safe? How he make you feel like a woman you don't see provision? I don't understand that. How you feel like that I'm that woman and he's not making you feel secure? I don't know. You know what, Jackie, and when it happens, you can only deal with things when they happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. A lot of us, sometimes we go ahead and we assume the worst. And I'm going to tell you something. So a man thinks, so is he. So if you think it's something bad going to happen, 9 times out of 10, it is, because instead of using a faith factor, using a fear factor. So faith and fear is interchangeably. Fear going to give you the negative. Faith is going to give you the positive. So if you in your mind say, I know this nigga gonna hurt me, and I know this nigga gonna cheat on me, guess what? He probably is. He probably is going to cheat on you. But if you have the intentions of, you know what, this man got some issues, and I believe that, you know what, if me being a good woman can help bring out the goodness in him, then you will get those good qualities. I think that some of us, sometimes we get on this high horse, and we just act like we never did nothing wrong in relationships. And we have. But the thing is, we have to take those things that we did wrong in relationships and not take them into new relationships, or keep doing the same thing in the relationships. I'm just being real. So, I mean, again, I'm not a relationship guru. I'm not. But I've been in certain relationships, and I realize where I erred and why some of these people don't talk to me right now to this day. Because I never was able to say, look, what you're doing to me is hurting me. So what I did was I just go and slash your tires, or I go and talk behind your back to somebody else and make you look like and smear your name. That's what I'll do. Instead of me coming to you and saying, look what you said to me, it hurt my feelings. And maybe we could have salvaged the relationship. But a lot of us won't have the hard conversations, man. And we got to have these conversations with family and with friends and with coworkers, because you got some coworkers that'll leech off you too. They every time it's time to go out to lunch, you go pick them up a burger or something, or a drink, or a bag of chips or stuff. But when it's your turn for them to get you a cup, even a cup of coffee, they won't even do it. So you got to start realizing in relationship is balance. That's what it is. It's like two people. You keeping that balance, because the Bible says that a false balance is an abomination. So everybody always talking about homosexuality is an abomination. A false balance is too. You know what? And Mama, you're right. If you're a believer, Christ got to be a part of that equation. Gotta be. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I think a lot of times when we do ourselves a disservice is that I'm a believer, but I want to deal with somebody that's not. And I feel like if I'm a believer, I can change them. But according to the word in scripture, the Bible says no man comes to the Father unless the Spirit draws him. So let's get it out of our head that we can get somebody saved, because we can't. Let's get it out of our head. We can tell them things. We can plant the seed and somebody else can water, but only God can bring forth the increase. So let's stop walking around here thinking we can save people, because we can't. We couldn't even save ourselves. Let's just keep it 100. You know what, Jamaris? I'm going to say this, Neff. If anybody you're in a relationship with or is not willing to help you do the work or to work through whatever trauma you've been through, then that may not be a person you need to get in a relationship with. Platonically or romantically. My thing is if you're not willing to go through the hard times with me, I don't need nobody that's going to always go through with me when the sun is out and we got the grill going and everything is peaceable. I need to know if you're going to show up when things are bad. I need to know at 3 o'clock in the morning if I need you. I need to know that you will be there for me. So we got all these people that's there in the good times. And they there for the happy times. And like I see a lot of people getting married and people show up at the wedding. They happy for the wedding. But when the marriage start having problems, nobody's around. I don't understand that. Everybody's celebrating. Woo, hallelujah. They got married and at the wedding. But when it come down to the marriage, where you at? Jackie, you're right. I'm telling y'all tripping me out tonight. When it come down to even believers, you know why? Because believers, we think we can shout our issues away. That's a big problem. So a lot of us have been told at church, get up, spin around 3 times and let the devil know I'm spinning out of it. And you still in it. You still in it. So what I'm saying is we got to be truthful with ourselves and we got to be honest with ourselves. And we got to be honest with God first, then ourselves, then we can be honest with everybody else. I mean, for years, I hid it for a fact. Man, I dealt with homosexuality. I tried to hide that from everybody. I didn't want nobody to know it. But you know what? I learned that once I got in front of it, I have a lot of more peace. And people that could be around me have a lot more peace. Why? Because they know what they're getting. They know what they're getting. So what I'm saying is we got to help each other. Iron sharpen iron. So my thing is if it's something in you that I see that can help me, I should be able to pour from it. And vice versa. It's kind of like going to the ATM. Relationships should be that way. I'm depositing, and when I need to withdraw, I can. You get what I'm saying? And if we treat relationships that way, because see, a lot of us come up insufficient, and we're paying for it. We're paying NSL fees. We're paying those $35 fees because a person has depleted us, and we're still trying to give. Look, once I can't give no more, I'm done. If you ain't deposit no love, no peace, no understanding, no joy, and none of that stuff, why do you think you should be able to withdraw that from me all the time? That ain't fair. That ain't fair. So the only thing you can deposit in me is hurt and your drama and your lies. That's how to help the relationship. So again, you know what I'm saying? That when it comes down to relationships, we got to make sure that we're intentional. That's all I really wanted to say for the most part, that we're intentional on if I'm dating a female, as me as being a man, my end goal is for me to be married. That's the end goal. I'm not trying to be your boyfriend for 5 years. I ain't that dude. So when you go into a friendship, my intentions is to love you like a brother or to love you like a sister. That's my intentions. That's what I want to get to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just keep it where we just we or you're an associate. Nah. If I call you friend, I want to be able to know without a shadow of a doubt you're my friend, because I want to let you know from my perspective and from who I am that I'm yours. Jamaris, because he don't go to church, it don't make him a no good man. You're right, it don't make him a no good man, but a good man should want to go to church. A good man should want to have a relationship with God. Period. It's kind of hard to be good without him. So I'm not going to say that just because you go to church it make you good, because it don't. But I would say this, you not going doesn't make you better either. I understand church, and we can talk about that all night. Church hurt and all that stuff. But you get hurt at your job. You haven't been in relationships where people hurt you and you stayed years. So why give up on God? Don't give up on God. I'm going to tell you something. You can give up on a bunch of Negroes, but you better not give up on God. Ever. Well, but Jamaris, you know what I'm saying? The thing is that, like I said before, if you're willing to change, don't talk about it. Just do it. My thing is this: when I made up in my mind that I was leaving things alone, and I said for a lot of times, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I ain't gonna be around this for no more. And I kept doing it. I had to eventually, after a while, you start seeing me. You didn't see them people around me. You didn't see them around me no more. One time, you would still see them people around me. Like I said, I'm not dealing with them no more. You would still see them people showing up. But after a while, you start seeing me by myself. But why? Because I meant what I said. And so when you do stuff like that, Nev, whatever the case may be, if you want to change from being a whore or shacking up or being a liar or a cheater, if you want to do all those things, just do it. Don't talk about it, because I'm telling you, 2019, people ain't really listening to what you got to say. If it ain't, and unless if it's benefiting them, they'll listen. But if it's not, they ain't trying to hear you, bro. Oh, man, I'm going to tell you something. This right here is good. I can't see. I should have made my font a little bit bigger so I can see a little bit better. But like I said, man, I would say this in my parting, if I should say, in relationships, platonically or romantically, have the conversations that are necessary. Talk. Communication is key. If you feel in a certain way, say it. If somebody did you wrong, let them know. You ain't got to be nasty. You ain't got to be rude. But you will let a person know what you did offended me. And if that person really care about you, really love you, they're going to hear you out. They're going to listen. And relationships is listening and speaking. Listening and speaking. Not thinking of what you're going to say next, but listening and speaking. So you got to communicate. Because like I said, when people don't communicate or they fail to communicate, that's when the enemy really can come in and cause a bunch of drama. When I ain't talked to certain friends in a while, if that friend, another person come and tell me they said, because I haven't talked to that person, I'm subject to believe it because I haven't been in communication with that person. But if I know I've been talking to that person, when somebody come and tell me they said, I can look at them like you lying, because when you said they said it, I was actually with them at the time that you saying they said it. So that's why we got to make sure that we know those that we know. Period. Well, you know what, Jamaris, like I say, you know, your family know you. And that's one thing about family. And I think sometimes we just got to be transparent with them too, especially ones that know us. You ain't got to show no airs, man. If you broken, be broken. If your family ain't willing to help you get back together again, then you know what? Everybody that cry out and say they're your family don't necessarily mean they are just because they're blood related. I got some friends that are not blood related to me that have been somewhat close to me, some of my blood brothers and all that. I can't say sisters because my sisters, they've been A1. You know what I'm saying? But brother-wise, you know what I'm saying? I've had people that have been my friend and more like a brother to me than some of my own family. My blood brothers. You know what I'm saying? So when it come down to it, man, family know you. But the thing is, you got to reinvent yourself so they can know the new you or the person you are to become. Because see, a lot of people know the past you. You think people that know me, the gay Mackenzie or the Mackenzie the punk or Mackenzie that didn't like women, you think they didn't recognize me for that? Oh, that's the one that's a sissy. That's the one that's gay. You know, people knew me as that, but as I had to let them see something different so they can know something different. And I didn't make that change for them. I made that change for me. I made that change because it was necessary for me. I can care less because it took 25, 30 years. I can care less what people thought. Because my actions kept showing up. I don't care what y'all think I'm going to do, me. But when I made up in my mind that I want to be healthy and whole, and I wanted to be free, things began to change. You know what? Give it time, Jamaris. Put some time on it. That's all I can tell you, man. Everybody ain't going to be ready to talk when you're ready to talk. Talk to God about it. Ask God to saturate their heart. He'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Because see, a lot of times that's the selfish part showing up in the relationship. You remember I was talking about earlier. In a relationship, it's not about self. It's about us. So you can't get mad at somebody because they don't want to talk when you want to talk. Can't get mad. Only thing you can do is get him time and get him grace, and prayerfully that y'all can get back to a place where you can talk before something happened, or God forbid one of y'all leave this earth. So what I'm saying is that you got to give people time. You can't get mad at people because they don't want to talk to you right now. You can't get mad, especially if you did something that caused them to be mad. Get them time. Get them time to get all the energy out. Then try to go back and redress it. But if you don't, you're going to make it worse. Because people going to be like, you don't said this before, you don't did this before, and there's the same outcome. And then now I'm insane because I keep doing the same thing over and over, getting the same results. Nobody want to be insane no more, bruh. Some people want to have a whole mind and want to be made whole. So I'm telling you this, man. In relationships, like I said again, family-wise, friendship-wise, let's be intentional. Let's be intentional, and let's not be fearful, because I shouldn't be afraid to be vulnerable with my people, man. I shouldn't be afraid to say, look, I'm going to say something. I want to jump on somebody because they really made me mad, and they're not going to look at me and say, well, the Bible says you're supposed to. Listen, I know what the Bible says. The Bible says a lot, but sometimes I just need you to hear me out. You know, so, and then you can give me the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a real friend gonna tell you the truth. A person in a real relationship gonna tell you the truth, especially when their intentions are pure. When a person has the intentions of seeing you do better and you have that same like mind towards them, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. So know them that you labor among. Be intentional in relationships. If some relationships you see it ain't working, stop giving the gas money. Let it go. Let it run out. Let it be done. And when you see them in City Trends, Roses, Kmart, Walmart, Dollar Tree, wherever you go, when you see them, give them a hey, how you doing? And then give them that goodbye. It's okay. It's okay. But I'm out. I've been at this for about an hour. This has been good. If y'all want to do it again, you know what I'm saying, have a little conversation. Because this is really good for me, because y'all helping me. Y'all don't even realize it. But if you want to do another real talk session, you know what I'm saying, give me a couple thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? We can come back, and then y'all can give me some questions. Like, inbox me some questions. You know what I'm saying? Jamaris, Jackie, Mama, whoever's on here, inbox me some questions, and they give me some time to pray on some things, to try to get a better understanding so we can grow together. Because we all need each other, man. And when we get to the place where we don't need nobody, we in trouble. So, like I said, if you got any questions that you have for me or you want us to talk about next time, let me know, and we'll do that, all right? Talk to y'all later. Love y'all the most. Peace.